Hello and welcome to this week's Cosmic Weather. I'm Corinne, and this is for the week of June 17th. Today is Monday. And just like last week, I want to kind of reframe the energy of this week by starting with the outer planets because the story that's happening right now is just such a cool story to sink into. And I'm just going to review where the outer planets are and not go too deeply into them since we covered them last week. So right now we have Pluto in gate 60, which is the gate of conservation. And that is this energy that wants to pull us back to the past. It's holding on to the way that things used to be. And, we know that we can't do that. So, how do we push forward? How do we focus on where we want to go moving forward? How do we let go of that hold that like our subconscious and our nostalgic, heart wants to keep staying in that past? How do we do that? We do that with gratitude. We create a gratitude practice. And the important thing about gratitude, I think that we think about gratitude in terms of, we should be grateful. And it's tied to this, it's tied to guilt and shame. And that is a different thing. Like when we are told, and I don't know about you, but I was told, eat everything on your plate because there are children who are starving in other parts of the world. Be grateful for what you have because there are people going without. That's not gratitude. That is a way of getting you to settle for something that is less than what you deserve. And I'm not saying that we were fed food that was less than we deserve. I'm talking about like on the greater scheme of that energy, telling us that we should be grateful. We ought to be grateful because other people there's have and have nots. That's not gratitude. Gratitude is a singular, you focused, being joyful about your current state and being grateful for the heat, being grateful for the AC, being grateful for the food on the table, being grateful for the fabulous soft clothing that you have, be grateful for glasses that you can see clearly, be grateful for the means to live the life that you want to live for no other reason than you are feeling joy because you have those things. Here, I have one. I'm grateful for my peonies that I cultivate in my garden every season. And this year I had this incredible harvest. And as a result, I have vases full of flowers all over my house, and the house smells delightful of peonies. And that is something that I am using as a way to tap into that coherence, to tap into gratitude, because it keeps me here. It keeps me here in this moment and then looking forward. I am so grateful for these beautiful flowers. And that's a truth. I am truly here in this moment feeling gratitude about that. And what that does is the way the energy of that works is it actually connects with your heart and you create heart coherence, and then your vibration changes. So the vibration that I'm putting out is I am joyful, I am happy, I'm content, I am liking where I'm at right now. And so that's what I'm putting out. And then that's what's coming back in, right? We are all resonating at a frequency. And so gratitude, the frequency of gratitude, um, is how we manifest. So it's how we stay focused on where we want to go. I want more of this, not necessarily in the form of peonies because the peony season is ending, but this is what I want to stay. And so as I find things in my life that allow me to keep that gratitude frequency, then I will continue to move forward in that way. And so that is how we combat that pull of that Pluto energy in gate 60, which is that conservation, which is that pulling back. And we also have Neptune in gate 25, which is the gate of spirit, which is all about trusting source and trusting that we are meant to do things. We are here for purposes that are higher than our day-to-day, everyday thing. Like we're here to live our lives and have mundane things and, wake up in the morning and brush our teeth. And also we are meant to be a fuller expression, to strive to find the thing that will be our highest expression, our true fulfillment. And the way that we do that is by trusting. And we do that in service to the collective. We do that in ways that we can give back without depleting, right? and that not depletion is huge. It's a really big part of how all of this works, because if it's not sustainable, then it's not going to work. So we always have to strive to find ways to do things in the way that makes them sustainable. And when they are not sustainable, when the way that you're giving is depleting, then that's a signal to you that you need to shift the way that you're giving. You need to change something around so that you can build in sustainability into your everyday. And that goes, for everything. It goes for the way that you work. It goes for the way that you care for others. It goes for the way that you chase your creativity and pursue things that light you up. All of these things must be done in a sustainable way. And so that is the energy of Neptune in spirit, in the gate of spirit, because it's asking you to really to trust in that higher thing that is meant for you, and to allow the synchronicities and to allow right timing. And that also goes with Uranus, which is in gate 8, which is that gate of fulfillment. And so the energy of this week is all about the self. It's all about really trusting yourself and grounding down into what you want, how you feel, what are the signals that you're getting. And so the gate of fulfillment is all about relentless authenticity. It's about truly stepping into who you are. Like, what are you here to do? What lights you up? And are you compromising in some way? And where you find that you're compromising is where you're going to be gliding along at your fabulous gratitude frequency, and yay, everything's groovy. And then something brings you down and you'll feel it. And when you feel it, that's your sign. Hey, something's not jiving with me right now. I need to fix that. So pay attention to those energies. Okay, so right now we have the Earth in gate 11, and that is called the gate of the conceptualist. And this is about all the ideas. It's the fire hose of ideas. It's when you get quiet and all the solutions, all the things, all the possibilities, and all the potential are coming. And the important thing to know here is that, number one, not all of these are meant for action. Number two, not all of these ideas are meant for you. And not all of these ideas are meant to even be pursued. Okay? The job of us in this week, when we're getting all the ideas, is to hold on to them, because we're waiting for the right timing for some of them to come to fruition through our hands. We're waiting for the right people to share the idea with, so that they can take it and carry on with it. And that is all about, really trusting, going back to that Neptune, trusting in that timing, trusting in spirit, trusting in that we have access to that flow. And while the earth is in gate 11, we ground into the energy of the earth. So we ground into this holding space for all the ideas, so that we can access the energy of the sun, which is in gate 12, which is called the channel. And that is all about how our words have power. Our words create, our words cause things to happen. Our words change the world, right? And we can use our words to share those ideas, or keep those ideas to ourselves. Or we can use those words to build up ourselves. Self-talk is part of this. And so the message of this week's sun energy is: listen to the way that you're speaking. Listen to the things that you're saying. Listen to who you're speaking to. And understand that timing and right timing, right people, right place. When the timing is right, when the people are right, when the place is right, you will find that you are able to articulate and flow. If you find that you're struggling, or you can't articulate and you can't get the words out, that's a signal. And I'm asking you to lean into, hey, you know what? Maybe these aren't the right people to share this with. Maybe this isn't the right time to share this. Use the fact that it's difficult to articulate as a sign that, hey, something's up with the energy here. Because the power of gate 12, the power of the sun in the gate of the channel, is all about flow. When we are in flow, then it is correct. When we are not in flow, we should not force it, because when we force it, that's when we cause that ripple that's going to cause something that's not in alignment with all the things that we're trying to do and trying to pursue. And so that's the beginning of this week. At the end of the week, we have the sun dropping into gate 15, which is all about your own rhythm. It's trusting that you have a rhythm, trusting that your rhythm works without guilt, without shame, without doubt. And, rhythms are natural. Like, look at nature. Nature works in seasons, and it also works in extremes, right? There's rhythm and extremes. So we have things like the seasons, and we have things like the day and the cycle of the sun and the moon. But we also have storms and earthquakes. And when we have a pattern interrupt, right? When we're cruising along in our flow, and then something hits the fan, our job is to trust that that is something that is pulling us back onto the correct path or pushing us off the path onto a different path for a purpose. And we need to trust that this is so, and not allow ourselves to get paralyzed by that fear or that doubt or that questioning. Like, we when we're working and doing our thing, and then something completely side rails us or derails us and blindsides us, our instinct is to freak and to be like, oh my God, deer in the headlights. Now what? And I'm going to urge you, if this is not saying these are going to happen, but when we're in the energy of gate 15, this is all about rhythm and flow. And when we are disrupted, I'm going to urge you to stop and look around and ask yourself, how can I be at cause right now? How can I be the creative force right now? That is 100% of the time the way to flip out of any kind of getting in your head with things. Like, how can I get back down into my body and be at cause? How can I get back down in my body and be creative in this moment? Because we are creative beings. We are meant to be creative. And I'm not talking just about art. I'm talking about, pushing things forth in the world is creative. Humans are creative. And so when you are finding, if you are finding, especially later in the week, that something knocks you off your rhythm, instead of getting stuck in guilt, like, oh, I should have done better, or shame, I should have a better morning routine, I should have a better way to be more resilient here, I don't know that I'm doing the right thing. Instead of dropping into guilt, shame, and doubt, I want you to drop into, how can I be at cause? How can I be creative? And take power back over that. Because at the same time that the earth drops into gate 15, the sun drops into gate 15, the earth drops into gate 10, which is the gate of self-love, which is all about like completely understanding that you are the source, and the source of your flow comes from self-love. Creative power comes from self-love. When we truly trust and love ourselves and trust that the things that we want are meant for us, we become 100% responsible for our state of being. Like, if we drop out of a place where we're feeling like, woo, I'm feeling groovy, and we drop into something that's knocking us off of our stride, we have the power to drop right back in and say, look, I am 100% responsible for where I am at. I am 100% responsible for how I'm feeling and how I'm showing up in the world. And, revisiting last week, the outer planets again, Saturn is in the gate 22, which is the gate of surrender. And that is like, the Jesus let take the wheel. It's the have faith, get real about things, and just let go, right? Let go of trying to control everything. And when we learn the lessons of Saturn, we get to experience the blessings of Jupiter. The two planets always work together, Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn is the teacher, and Jupiter is the reward of the lesson from the teacher. And while Saturn is in gate 22, the gate of surrender, Jupiter is in the gate of patience. And that is the pathway to blessings. That is trusting in timing. And, we can't be at cause if we're stuck in the past or stuck in the future, if we're worrying about what's to come, or we're stuck in like, what did they say? How dare they do that thing? Like, those things are happening ahead of us or behind us. All we can do is be here right now. And so when we have patience means that we're trusting that timing is happening in its time, right? That's about that connection to the divine flow, to divine timing, to I will be where I need to be when I need to be there. I will know what I need to know when I need to know it. And the people that need to be there will appear when I need them to be there. And so that is the energy of this week. It's still just such a cool energy. And just like last week, I am living in this right now. I'm in this limbo place where, like, wow, Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm going to trust that as long as I keep on trucking and doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, that I planned to do, I'm following my to-do lists and I'm making sure that I hit my goals and my deadlines. I know that the energy will kick back in and my wheels will get starting to spin again because, you know, because I am trusting, I am listening, I am hearing all the things that are around me. And I believe that, sometimes when we're put on pause for disruptive purposes, it is a sign that maybe the timing wasn't right, which is something that I experienced just last week. And it's time to recalibrate. And sometimes recalibrating feels really aimless. Like I was journaling this morning and I wrote, I feel aimless this morning. I feel unmoored. I feel like my compass is spinning. Um, not necessarily in like the big picture, what is my purpose, but more about like, what's the right next step? I don't know what the right next step is. And so I'm just gonna kind of open up and wait for it to appear. So, some questions, some contemplations that I have for you as we drop into this week's energy, and I'll add some more into the replay when I post it. What could you do to deepen your self love if you feel like you are not creative, if you feel like you are um, pushing out in blame and making other people responsible for your position and your state? Where can you clean that up? Where can you really get back into I am the cause. I can be at cause at all times. So what can you do to deepen self-love so you can drop back into that? Where are you placing blame on other people and dropping into victim consciousness? We are truly 100% responsible for where we're at. And that does not mean that things don't happen to us. But when things happen to us and things happen around us, we are 100% responsible for how we respond. How are we going to stand up in the world despite this thing that's just happened? That's where we have 100% control and we are 100% responsible. So, where's your head with that kind of stuff? Are we blaming other people? Are we holding on to victim consciousness? And then when it comes to the ideas that are coming, what can I do to hold all these ideas? What can I do to make sure that I have all the ideas and I don't forget them because timing is going to come where I'm going to need them? What do I need to do to connect with my creative power? Do you trust your own rhythms? Do you overshare? And that's part of the energy of, that martyrdom. Do you in the gate of compassion in gate 15? Do you interrupt your own rhythm in order to serve other people? That's martyrdom, and that is not a sustainable energy frequency. So that's a question. Do you overshare? Do you compromise your own rhythm to the benefit of other people? So it feels like it's a good thing to do. It on its face, it actually looks like you're so giving. Look at how selfless you are. But that's not self-care. That's not self-love because you're disrupting your own flow. There's a time and a place for that kind of service, and it's not to be done at the cost of your own integrity. And right, last week we talked about all the different kinds of integrity and how important they are. And all of those things have to do with bringing in that higher frequency living so that the things that we are bringing in are at the level that we want them to be at. Because everything is happening around us. We are resonating 100% of the time. And all the things that we are putting out energetically are coming back to us at that frequency. And so if we are not happy with the frequency of the things that are coming back in, we have to change those things. And so the way that we do that is through gratitude, raising our frequency through a gratitude practice in the moment, in the now, at all times, holding that frequency so that everything else can drop into flow. And part of all of that thing, all of that holding that frequency requires that trust in timing, that trust in flow, that trust in source, that trust that the people will come, the time will come, the place will be, everything will be where it's meant to be when it's meant to be. So flow, not force. Um, so yeah, so that's the energy of this week. And thank you for watching. Hello, hello, Corinne here. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the podcast. If you like what I'm sharing here, then I have a special invitation for you. It's my brand new membership called Be Inward. We are growing a unique community that's redefining what it means to be a successful entrepreneur. It's a place where we constantly ask ourselves, what if we made well-being the goal? If you're tired of the constant hustle and feeling like you're never fully present in any aspect of your business, then check out Be Inward. It might be exactly what you've been searching for. I invite you to join a movement that embraces an integrated work and life philosophy where your business fuels your life and your life inspires your work. Take a whole new perspective on entrepreneurship that supports every aspect of your being, personal, professional, and spiritual. And this is the best part. Right now, you can become a founding member for just $33 a month. That's a little more than $1 a day. As a founding member, you not only lock in the lowest rate this membership will ever be, but you'll also get a say in shaping what Be Inward becomes as it grows. Right now, Be Inward offers guided practices based on monthly themes, weekly cosmic weather reports, human design education and coaching, group healing EFT sessions, live topical Q&A and learning sessions, instant access to our growing learning library of self-paced courses, and weekly co-working and accountability. Help us shape our vision. There's much more coming every day, so get organized, find more time, learn a new system, and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs who are walking the same path with you. So join me and join Be Inward, because who you be is all that matters. And you find out who you are by looking inward. Thank you.